it's SheRea, what's up? Back with another video. As you can see from the title, today I will be reacting to your unpopular opinions. I have a lot of unpopular opinions, and in this video I'm going to keep them to myself. But if you want to see my unpopular opinions, give this video a thumbs up. Let's get this video to 1,000 likes, and I'll definitely share my unpopular opinions. But in this video, I'm going to share yours. I asked y'all here on YouTube as well as Instagram, and some of y'all got a lot to say. So we're going to go into it. But if you are new here and you've never seen my face, but you like my face, definitely be sure to subscribe so you can stick around. Give this video a thumbs up. It goes such a long way to support my channel. A like goes such a long way. And turn on your post notifications so you don't miss another video. So I'll be going through quite a bit of unpopular opinions. If you didn't see my post on YouTube or Instagram, because y'all know these platforms talk about suppressing content. If you didn't see me fielding for opinions and comments, you can definitely leave your unpopular opinions down below. If you have some that aren't mentioned in this video, or you want to add a little bit more to the conversation, definitely comment down below. Keep your comments as respectful as possible. We love a little subtle shade on this channel, but just be as respectful as possible. And without further ado, let's get into it. I asked y'all for natural hair, fashion, beauty, general life things. So it's going to be a mixed bag. But we're gonna start with hair because this is the one. Self-Care Coca, which is the influencer on TikTok and Instagram. If you haven't heard about her, I will leave her information down below. She's so supportive of me. I met her at the SheRea event back in, when was it, June? We've been connected ever since, and she's so supportive. Anyway, she said most hair influencers have made a living off having good genes, not the actual product. Okay. So what do y'all think about that? What is your reaction to that? Genetics definitely plays a role in a lot of the properties of our hair. Genetics plays a role in the thickness of our hair. Our length is also predetermined by genetics as well. Strand thickness, all of these things are genetic. We cannot change these things. Howsoever, of course, our lifestyle, our hair care practices and routines will definitely alter or improve things that we are genetically pre-exposed to do or to achieve, right? Genetically, you can be able to grow hair down your butt, but if you're not taking care of your hair, deep conditioning your hair, using certain practices to make your hair thrive, you're not going to see hair growth to your butt. And I see that in my own hair care routine, right? Both of my parents have locks. Both of them at some point in their lives have had locks that dragged on the floor, right? So that means in my genetics, I would hope that I have the propensity to grow hair to my butt. Have I yet achieved hair to my butt? No, because things happen. Heat damage, color damage, over manipulation, not trimming enough. So I haven't been able to achieve the length that my parents have with their locks, because obviously locks also is an inherent protective style, but also I've done things physically, manipulatively to fuck up my hair, right? So I'm not going to see that growth. So even genetically, I should be able to have long hair. It doesn't come that easy, right? It's not just about genetics. There's also other things that play. However, there are some people that don't have to do anything to their hair, no product, nothing, and their hair is going to thrive, right? Everyone's hair is different. A lot of influencers, they have the propensity to have long hair. They have the propensity to have thick hair. So we look at their hair, it's long and thick and beautiful, and they don't do much to it. And we think that because they have long, thick hair and they don't do anything to it, that we don't have to do anything to it. Or they have long, thick hair and they're using XYZ product. I have to use XYZ product and I'm going to get that result. And that's just not true. It's just not true. It's just not true, and there's really no miracle in a bottle. Of course, I have favorites, you have favorites, but the health and length is not in a bottle, right? It really comes from the technique. So this is tough. It depends on what influencer she's talking about in particular. But for me, and I've been watching natural hair influencers for over a decade, I don't think natural hair influencers have made a living off of selling products, right? That's something I've heard a lot, but I don't think that's how influencers have gained success on this platform or any platform. I think influencers have made their success off a certain aesthetic, and that is genetics, right? But I don't think it has to do with hair products. Influencers are not selling hair products. I mean, some of us do, but what we're really selling is this aesthetic, right? Light skin, long curly hair, slim built, usually young. These are things that people watching, and as a direct relation, the algorithm wants to see. These are the things that rise to prominence in our community based on what somebody looks like. You have a natural 85 in our community because Whitney has long, thick hair, and Whitney can apply water and shea butter, and she's gonna have a bomb perm set, a bomb twist out. She can use just water and have amazing hair. I've seen it for myself even before she started a natural hairline. You're gonna have other people like Courtney from The Main Choice, who also has long hair. Of course, they started a product line, but they've always had long hair, and people came for the hair, right? Not a certain product, but an aesthetic, what people want to see. If you brown, it better be long and thick, and if you light, then that's right? That's really how our mind has been conditioned as Black people in the diaspora. So I don't really think influencers are selling product as much as we may think. I think influencers are selling an aesthetic, and the aesthetic works because that's what we want to buy. That's what we want for ourselves, right? I've said this before on my channel. People don't like the life that they have. They don't like how they look. They want what they see online. They want that Black girl luxury, exotic, long hair type of look. That's what people want, even though they don't look like that, and that's not their life. That's what they want. So in short, I don't really think people are selling products. I think people have naturally been gifted with certain features, and those features are marketable online, if that makes sense. That's just my 2 cents though. You may see it differently. Definitely be free and open to agree or disagree with me, but we've talked about this too long, so we're gonna move on. Having kids doesn't truly bring happiness. Now, I don't know what made sis say this, but I guess it's because there's a pressure on especially women to have kids, and especially women in relationships with men to have kids. And I think that's true. I personally don't feel that pressure as a 30-year-old. I don't feel the pressure to have kids. I guess people know better than to come at me with some BS. So I don't feel the pressure personally in my community or from my friends to have kids, but I know there's real life pressures to have children, and I'm good on that. I'm in a relationship with a man that I love, that's in love with me, but I don't want kids. That's not something I am aspiring to. And I think I'm living a full, fruitful life without having children. I don't think I'm going to regret it one day. Kids aren't for everybody. There's a lot of people who would make this world a better place if they never had kids, because they never wanted kids and they mistreat kids. And everyone isn't meant to be a parent. Some of us can be aunties and great godparents, and great uncles and all that. We don't need to be parents. We can help parents parent. You know what I mean? Yeah. Someone said, this is just so funny because I don't really have a response to this, but this is hilarious. Pleather has had a hell of a rebrand into vegan leather, and I hate it. I'm dying. Ooh, Charlie. Y'all see this? Thanks, Mia. Thanks, girl. Because this concealer is about to fold. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Not my concealer fighting for its life. I'm wearing this windbreaker, but it's hot as hell in here. God damn. Let me know if you have a waterproof concealer. I don't care how much I pay for it and how I apply it. If my eyes water, my concealer is going to fold like a lawn chair. It's going to crumble like our economy. So definitely let me know, sis. Back to the video. I honestly don't really have a strong reaction to this. I don't feel any way about it. I guess I'm not really a fashion girly, but I don't know, that just made me laugh. I thought it was hilarious. Ah! Okay. Influencers jumping on the bandwagon that their apartments and their homes have to be in all nude colors. I definitely am over the... And I've said this before, if you haven't seen my video on me roasting influencers, you can definitely click that video right here because I did talk about this a little bit. I'm personally over influencers all looking alike, all having the same hairstyles, having the same homes, living in the same areas, living in the same city. Like, Atlanta is closed, y'all. Atlanta needs a break. You know what I mean? Like, that's a whole different video. And like I said, I've talked about it before, but I think a lot of people think they like a minimal aesthetic or they like a nude browns aesthetic, but they don't. That's just what's trending right now, and that's what the girlies have in their homes. And because we don't really have a mind for ourselves and we want to be like everyone else, everyone thinks that's what they want. But I have some few white pieces, you know, in my home, and they're just so hard to maintain. Like, I'm a brown girl. You touch makeup, it turns brown. Like, I really don't know how these girls upkeep all this white and this cream. I just gotta be a dirty bitch because I just don't have the patience for that. And more power to y'all, but that's just not gonna be me. It's too much. It's too much. Wigs and weaves are overrated, and baby hairs are ugly. So there was definitely a lot of baby hair shade on YouTube and on Instagram. So I don't do baby hairs. I've had baby hairs once in my life when a stylist did it for me. It was cute. I was like, okay, this is a look. I see why the girlies like it. I don't do baby hairs because I don't know how to do it. And I think a lot of people, sometimes we don't like stuff because we don't know how to do it. The same way people don't like makeup because they don't know how to do it, or don't like wigs and weaves because they don't know how to lay lace. So some things are because we don't know how to do it or we don't understand it. So that's one part of it. The second part of it is the why, right? Why do we think we have to rock baby hairs, right? Like, some people think their styles are incomplete if they don't have baby hairs. And what is it about having, you know, type 4 hair and having type 3/8 edges? Like, what is that, right? Is that anti-blackness? Is that texturism? Is that years of indoctrination about what kept hair looks like? Like, what is the obsession with the baby hairs? Or is it just cultural? Is it trendy? Is it just something that's popular right now? Or is there some underlying anti-blackness or texturism? These are things that we can joke about, but there could be some serious implications underneath, right, bubbling up. I'm not sure. I don't care enough about it. I just need baby hairs to be recognized for what they are, which are intrinsic to black and brown cultures, because a lot of the trends that we rock and we have popularized have now been introduced to mainstream culture and have become quite whitewashed. So I don't really personally care about baby hairs. They don't bother me. I don't really know why somebody wants the baby hair all the baby hairs down here at the eyebrow. Not my thing, you know? Not something I would do personally. I don't care, you know, and that's what I think about most things. I think sometimes we just need to make people enjoy things. We really take the joy and happiness out of life when everything is a problem. I don't care about baby hairs. I also don't care about it being called baby hairs. I know there's like a fight about the semantics of it all. Whether it's called your edges or your baby hairs, it's still styling the front section of your hair, and it's either you like that or not, right? I know like in the Insider Tea, we were talking about like baby hairs and like it's really the edges. And does it really matter what it's called? Like a rose by any other name would still be as annoying, you know what I mean? So I don't really care what it's called. I don't really care that people do it, but I do sometimes wonder, is it anti-black? Is it texturism when we're so obsessed with that look? And why do we need the baby hairs? Why do we need the edge control? You know what I mean? And in terms of wigs and weaves, I also have no issues with wigs and weaves. We know that I wear wigs. I don't wear weaves anymore. I don't do sew-ins. I do wear the occasional wig every now and again. This summer, I definitely let up on my wigs because I honestly just genuinely preferred my natural hair and rocking my natural hair. I think it looks more beautiful on me. I think at some point in my life I probably thought the wigs looked better because they were longer, they were fuller, but as I invested into my hair, I took care of it. Ain't no wig on this planet that looks better than my hair, you know what I mean? Like even when I was in Toronto, I mean, if you haven't seen the Toronto vlog, shameless plug, even when I was in Toronto, I rocked my U-part wig for a few days, and by the end of it, I was back rocking my natural hair in a head wrap because, you know, it was braided down for a wig, but I was over it. I just wanted to rock my natural hair. I didn't want to worry about it like flying off in the wind and all that stuff. I just wanted to rock my hair, right? But it's a journey, right? In my 20s, I rocked wigs, and looking like in my 30s, I'm gonna rock my hair. But I don't think there's anything wrong with how Black women choose to rock their hair. We just have to understand the why, right? Are we doing it truly to protect our hair, to better the hair that we have? Or are we doing it to hide our hair? And that's kind of a different conversation, right? So I think there's a time and place. You know, if sis wants to wear her wig, sis needs to wear her wig. I just don't feel strongly about it. I just don't feel like everything has to be a discussion and everything has to be to the detriment of culture. Now, this is another one about wigs. Every time you say what lace and the lace is clear as day. I've been guilty. If I can find one of my Facebook posts some years ago, I was like, what lace? It's like, bitch, right there, bitch, right there. It's right there. Freaking Stevie Wonder ass can see that lace, girl. What are you talking about? I've been guilty of it, and it's embarrassing, and it's so funny to bring this up because it be right there. The lace be right, what, girl. You didn't blend that thing or nothing. I see the lace. I see the lace. I want the wig trend to die. I personally don't want the wig trend to die. Why don't we like wigs? Why does it matter that someone is rocking a wig? You know what I mean? Now, if you are ignoring your natural hair and you bald underneath, maybe that's something to, you know, to think about. But everyone doesn't care about their hair, right? Everyone doesn't value their hair. Everyone doesn't want edges. People generally do not care. And is that wrong? I don't know. Let me know down below. I am definitely not going to get through all of these. I just have so many, but I'm gonna try to go through these a bit quicker. Sew-ins and heavy poetic box braids really don't protect your hair. They damage your hair. And I 100% agree. Every protective style is not protective. Honestly, a lot of times protective styles are really just a way to ignore and neglect our hair. And as someone with fine hair, I just found that even though I loved my braids and I loved my sew-ins and my crochet braids, they just thinned my hair out. My hair is a lot thicker now that I've cut it and kind of regrown it without any of those long-term protective styles. And I don't regret it, honestly, because they can really thin your hair out, especially when you don't have super thick hair. You know, everyone's hair doesn't have the same resilience. Some people can do it and have thriving hair, and then some people like me will do it and be bald. So you have to really figure out what your hair can do. But I think I've talked about this before in an unpopular opinions video a few years ago. So if you haven't seen my previous video, you can definitely check it out right here in the cards, and I talk about it more there. Wearing an undefined afro needs to be normalized 100%, 110%. And I can go into it more, but sis said what she said, and she meant it, and I agree. This is the last one I'm going to touch on, and this is natural hairstylists need to stop shaming the use of oils, butters, and creams for all of their clients. Certain hair textures require those products to maintain moisture. So I've touched on this before in a live, but I've not touched on this formally in a video, just because, again, what is the theme of this video? I do not care. I personally do not care if people ditch oils and butters, or ditch raw oils and butters, or if they decide to do wash and goes 100% of the time, or if grease is bad this day or silicones is bad another day. I really don't care, because at the end of the day, as much emphasis and power and love and joy that we put into our hair, or we have for our hair, it is just hair. I'm not saying that culturally, for some people, spiritually, hair is not important. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that hair, once it leaves the follicle, is dead. The fact that we get on the internet every day and fight over what people do to their hair or don't do to their hair when we don't feed or finance them is very crazy to me. It's very strange behavior, and it's giving weird. So although I do not subscribe to the no oils, no butters hair choice or hair routine or lifestyle or whatever people want to call it, I am not going to shit on it, because I don't care. And I know it works for people, and people, you know, sing the praises of it, like people sing the praises of oils and butters. My issue comes into when we get on the internet and pretend that there's not a space for us all, or we get on the internet with our science as though there isn't science that can counteract your science, right? People with no oils and butters says, well, it's science, you don't need oils and butters. But there's also bodies of research on oils and butters helping to protect the hair. If there's a stylist or stylists that denounce oils and butters, there's going to be a stylist, a chemist, a scientist that upholds oils and butters. You know what I mean? So there's space for us both. It's not worth an argument. I just think that we should all go to stylists or listen to people whose ideals align with our own. I don't think that we need to try to fight and argue to change people's minds, because people are going to do what they want, right? People are going to choose what they want and not choose what they want. So the fighting to me it's a waste of time. I think instead we should tune into influencers, support stylists, support brands who align with what our ideals are for our hair. If I'm for oils and butters, I'm not going to go to a stylist who doesn't believe in using oils and butters unless it's a mistake. Been there, sis. Got a video all about it. Would never do that again. It's important to go to stylists whose hair ideologies align with your own. I don't think there's any right or wrong. And I don't care that people only use their Mousse Def and Uncle Funky's daughter. Who gives a damn? I'm not buying it. You know what I mean? I don't care. I'm not a wash and go queen, and I will respect a wash and go queen because that is his or her decision with their hair, or gender non-conforming decision with their hair. Who cares? I don't. I don't care. I don't care. I'm in my pretty girl era, okay? If you know, you know. Yeah, I don't care about anything. I don't care what people do with their hair. To me, that's just asinine at this point. To be arguing over who does what, who doesn't do what. Do what you want. If you want to use oils, use oils. If you don't want to use raw oils, don't use raw oils. It is actually that simple, and it's not hurting anybody. Me using my oil is not hurting you or my hair. Ask my hair. You know what I mean? Not that deep, y'all. But I think that's the end of this video. This video has been long enough. There's some other things that I definitely want to touch on, but again, we can do this all day. If you do want to see a part 2, or you want to see my unpopular opinions, definitely let me know. Again, let's get this video to 1,000 likes and I'll make that happen. If you submitted an unpopular opinion and I didn't get to it, I'm sorry about that. I only could touch on so many today, but in the future it may come up again, so don't you worry, sis. If you enjoyed this video, definitely let me know. Like I said, definitely leave your unpopular opinions down below. I would love to hear more. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. Bye, y'all.